Hey, what is up guys? Josh back here again with you today for another one, and this one that I'm doing here today is another whiskey review, more specifically another rye whiskey review, and even more specifically than that, a Canadian rye whiskey review. This one here that I'm doing is Crown Royal's Northern Harvest Rye. 90% rye whiskey, 45% alcohol by volume, 90 proof. Always appreciate it when they bump it up, 5% on that ABV to kind of carry a little bit more flavor over from the barrels whenever they do some of these types of whiskeys. Their bourbon mash, I think, was a standard 80 proof, which I thought that one, which I believe I may have reviewed on here. I can't quite remember. I remember thinking that one could have done with a little, extra boost in the ABV to help the flavors out a little bit more. Their sort of Crown Royal sort of branching off on their lineup of different whiskeys that they do. This one here I've not had before. Well, I mean, I have, as you can see, but I have not had it before this bottle. So, and I remember I just had a couple glasses of it out of this pint bottle so far, I haven't really had a whole lot of time with it. So let's go ahead and get a little pour on it and see what we get. I personally really like rye whiskey. It's kind of one of my more favorite styles of whiskey besides bourbon. And still kind of dipping my toes into Scotch a little bit. Gonna try to get my hands on some Monkey Shoulder pretty soon, which is a blended Scotch. It's not a single malt or anything like that, but it's one that I've been eyeing at the store I work at for a while now. I've heard it's a really good starter Scotch. I've had Famous Grouse, Dewar's 12, a few of those, which are also very sort of bottom of the line. Cutty Sark starter scotches, as far as I know. So I'd like to get my hands on one that's a little bit more, up there. Anyway, let us get back to the one that we are reviewing today, which is the Crown Royal Rye. The color is, as you can see, sort of a orange gold, kind of golden orange. Appearance, not really any amber or anything, just like really an orange. Like I said, kind of golden orange. I'm not sure if it's the same in the bottle a little bit, yeah, just looks a little more luminescent in the glass here. Leaving some pretty good legs on the edge of the glass from that 90 proof ABV. So let's go ahead and go for the aroma on this. Spicy, grainy, a little sweet. Little peppery, very peppery actually. A little fruity, with those rye grains. Always a little bit of fruitiness with those rye grains. Really, the rye whiskey I've had the most is probably the Bulleit Rye, which also has a fruitiness to it, as opposed to the more kind of sweet and citrusy Bulleit bourbon. The rye has a good kind of earthy fruitiness to it. And I'm kind of getting that here, although it's a little bit more fruity sweet rather than fruity earthy. Maybe a little bit of mint as well. Like a little bit. The predominant spice is, or I should say spice, I mean, really kind of like a white pepper kind of thing going. Pepper or spice? I'm not really sure. I guess so. It's seasoning though, right? All right, let's go ahead and go for the flavor on this one. 90 proof. I'm not cutting it with water or anything like that. Just going to drink it as is. Flavor is vanilla, sweet vanilla, that white pepper for sure. Nice fruitiness. Good bit of cinnamon on the flavor, actually. Yeah, very good bit of cinnamon. Or well, what was as far as what I can equate with being cinnamon-esque and whatever that flavor note really is, whatever actual grain that is from. But I'm definitely getting that. Maybe a little bit of nutmeg actually too. A bitterness, sort of like a bitter kind of allspice kind of flavor. 90% rye mash, which I did not mention. It is 90% rye whiskey, so definitely lots of rye packed in there. Obviously, hints of fruit, cloves. Okay, yeah, I can see the cloves and spice. Yeah, cloves, nutmeg, allspice. Um, Bit of like again that fruitiness, not like a citrus type of fruit, more of like a it's kind of more like a mango type of fruit. It's getting really specific, but it's about the first thing that came to my mind when I'm trying to hone in on the fruit flavors in there. Mouthfeel is fairly dry. I wouldn't really inhale too much while drinking this one because it does have a fairly strong alcohol kind of fumage going on with it. But other than that, it's really not bad. It's nothing. It's nothing. Acetyl or anything. It's nothing just completely and utterly off-putting. It's just a little bit of some strong alcohol fumage going on, which happens with a lot of higher ABV. Some are just better at hiding it though than others. But no, it is a really solid rye whiskey from Crown Royal. This one I got just from a very busy night at the store recently. Just kind of just we work with the stores in a college town. College students have been coming back into town, so business has been picking up a little bit. And then after the July 4th season and everything like that, people have been kind of coming in a little bit more often and more regularly, and new customers and other people coming in. So that and all the other stuff you have to do in a store like that. So we got a free pint out of it from the store owner one night, and Crown Royal was one that the rye was one that I wanted to try out of all the little pints that we had. It was I wanted to try a different rye out, so Crown Royal was one of them. Since I do like the black very much, the Crown Royal Black, and I did think that the Crown Royal bourbon mash was was pretty good. But yeah, this one is actually, if you're a rye fan, I would check it out just to try it. It's probably not going to beat other ryes out there, but other kind of more prestigious ryes out there, or anything like that. But it is worth trying out for sure if you come across it, which I don't think it's a very new brand. I think it came out a few years ago, or even longer than that, possibly. But I would recommend picking it up if you come across it, maybe as a pint, just to see what you think about it, or a shooter, whatever. But definitely check out Crown Royal's Northern Harvest Rye when you can, if you are a rye or a whiskey fan in general. And until next time, guys, thank you for watching.